For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, hello, Glenn. We're glad you are back. We've got some wonderful guests today. 3 segments for you. First is with the East China School District, Superintendent in charge,
Hello.
Suzanne Cybulla. Nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
And Angie Gleason. Nice to see you. Angie's in
Glad to
charge
be
of the
here.
finance. You're in charge of everything else.
Yep.
Let's start out. You had a bond issue, which is rolling along wonderful,
Yes.
in 2020.
Yes.
And then a little thing called COVID came
COVID,
along,
yep,
and
yep.
shut everything down.
Yep.
Then after that was over, you started construction again. The Innovation Center is finished and the students are loving it.
Yep. Yep.
Where are we at in the whole program?
So, like you mentioned, in March of 2020, we successfully passed what we call Bond 2020, and then 3 days later, Michigan shut down. So during the COVID shutdown, there wasn't a lot, if anything, happening along the construction, but we were working on the design front, so we could still do that remotely. Then once we came out of COVID, we had a slow start up to the construction. There was some supply chain issues, still dealing with that a little bit, and some work-related worker attainment issues, and now we're rolling along really well. And like you mentioned, the Innovation Center at Meisner Road is open, 10 classrooms with an office and a boardroom. The Early Childhood Center addition, we had 4 classrooms built there, and that one is open, and both of them have students in it as of this fall. So,
And both St. Clair High School and Marine City High School have had major construction. The construction at St. Clair is somewhat complete, I think, with a new gym and other things, and Marine City is still in progress.
So where we're at with those projects, both campuses will become 6-12 facilities.
Oh, 6-12,
Yep,
okay.
they'll house grades 6 through 12. Marine City campus has always done that. We're just going to configure the rooms a little bit differently. St. Clair will become a 6-12 campus, and in order to do that, we had to build a new gym.
Okay.
And so there's a brand new high school gym that opened 2 weeks ago. And we're excited because the boys basketball and girls basketball teams are playing there now.
Why would you need a new gym?
We need 2 gyms. So we will have a high school gym that was just built, and the old high school gym will become the middle school for our middle school students. But St. Clair is not done yet. That campus will receive a complete renovation from top to bottom, all classrooms, the technology is there. But all classrooms will be renovated, and they're also getting a 6 classroom addition built on the front. So
6 more classrooms.
6 more classrooms. Yep. Yep.
Out
so
towards the
the
Clinton
road.
Avenue. Clinton Avenue.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we're excited. We're in the design phase right now of that project.
So it was, and you've repeatedly thanked the citizens for the support on the bond issue. Populations go up, populations go down, things change, but you still need certain
Top-notch
things.
facilities. Yep.
Top-notch. Okay.
Yep. And I wanted to finish by saying Marine City right now is under heavy construction, heavy renovation. They had 10 classrooms renovated over the summer, and right now it's their kitchen and media center and cafeteria that are being renovated.
Oh.
Hope to have that done mid-January.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. 2024 is coming up in a few weeks, and in 2024, the voters of Michigan and the United States, or at least Michigan, are going to have 4 elections.
Yep.
4 elections. The first one comes up February 27th, and you guys are involved in that one. Get in early and get out of the way, I guess, is the proper thing.
Yep.
And that election is just a renewal of something. What is the something?
This is a renewal of East China School District's operating mills. So it is currently a 19 mill levy for 9 years, and it's going to expire at the end of 2024, and we need to renew that. So what's on the ballot for February 27th of 2024 is a renewal of the 19 mills for another 9 years. Now, the state of Michigan only allows school districts to levy 18 mills, but
Okay.
the 19 is on the ballot in case of a Headley rollback, which is when the property values increase at a greater rate than inflation.
That gets so confusing.
I know, but it's confusing when there's the 19 and we're saying 18. So we
Right.
always want to make sure we can never levy more than 18. That's it.
But this is an existing thing. The
Mm-hmm.
taxpayers of St. Clair County and East China School District have been paying it for how long?
Since
Years?
1994.
1994.
Proposal A passed.
When the Headley Amendment came in 1994.
Yeah. So this is, and I'll let Angie give us a couple more details on it, but it's a function of Proposal A. All school districts in Michigan, in order to receive our full funding allowance per student, you hear about count day, which is we count all our students
Yep.
and then we tell Lansing, and Lansing sends us
Stand up straight over there. We count
Yeah,
you.
exactly. We're counting you. We get a dollar amount for each student. But unless this passes, we don't receive the full funding.
Oh,
So for East China School District, that is about?
It's about $14 million.
14 million.
It is, yes. And so
This isn't something to fool around with then.
no, it's about 30% of our general fund, our operating dollars. So it's a huge portion of our budget.
Yeah.
So this millage, we collect first, and then the state will make up the difference of that to provide us our foundation allowance, which is that per pupil amount per student. So they will not, like Suzanne had mentioned, they don't make up that difference,
Okay.
that $14 million difference, should we not collect it.
Is this the thing where it's homestead and not homestead?
We probably should have led with that.
Right.
Homeowners do not pay this tax.
Homeowners don't pay.
Don't pay it. Nope,
Right.
not on their primary residence. No,
Oh,
this
so if I'm
is-
paying to the city of Marine City or East China Township or the city of St. Clair or any more of the district, as a homeowner,
you do
this
not.
doesn't affect me.
No, not
Oh.
at all.
I love the example that was shared recently is when you look at your tax bill, when it's your primary residence, when you look at your tax bill, it will say 18 mills and it will say exempt, which means
Oh.
you have a primary residence exemption.
So
you-
who votes on it then?
Everybody. It's kind of interesting how the legislation for Proposal A is in place. Everyone in our district has to vote on this and it has to pass, but it does not affect primary home owners.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
That helps to clarify it. It really
Yeah.
does.
Yes, and like I said, every district in Michigan has to do it. So if we live in East China School District, we have to pass 18 mills. Algonac has to pass Port Huron.
Marysville.
Every district in Michigan has to go through this
But it
same vote.
doesn't affect the payment that I'm making as a homeowner in any one of the municipalities or counties that I live in, or
Correct.
townships.
Correct.
Okay.
It's strictly just a renewal, so we continue to receive the full funding for our operating budget for
Okay.
East China School District.
So
Yep.
who's paying the money?
It is agriculture, business, and second homes.
Okay. Oh, like vacation homes
Yep.
and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Well, that's a very confusing subject.
Yes.
It is. It is. School funding is confusing. And what we try to do is make it as clear and easy to understand, but if anyone ever has a question, either Angie and I would be happy
Okay.
to answer those.
How is the finances of the city or the school district, East China School District?
They're great. We've got a lot of great things going on with the funding that we do receive. It's interesting the changes that have come about since COVID. I was at a managers conference not long ago, and the gentleman that manages all of the the grants, let's say through the state, talked about the different funding sources that come through for different things, and they're all different allocations and all different requirements, and do you qualify or don't qualify, and it's interesting. But East China School District's doing great. We do a good job.
Yep.
Our students are always our priority, and we provide a great environment for them.
student population goes up, student population goes down. Are you settling down, or are you getting more younger kids in?
So the 3 surveys that were done, the population studies that were done in order for us to go out for the bond issuance originally, showed us that we would be a declining district, and it gave us a deadline, and that deadline is our 10th graders right now. That is our largest class in the school district. As 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, as those graduate, our big classes have moved on, and we're now at our new normal. And it is interesting, when you look at the studies and look at our enrollment, pupil count is really, really close, almost dead on. So right now, with that 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade class, our last big classes, we graduate about 120 more students than we have coming in for kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
So that's quite a big, big challenge for our finance department to be able to balance it. And they've done a wonderful job so that we can continue to offer exciting programs for our students. But we still have 3 more years of that declining enrollment, and then we stabilize.
One of the things I read in the paper the other day is that that first election in February is free because the state of Michigan is having a presidential primary.
That is correct.
And so normally when you go out for a bond issue or you go out for something, the district has to pay for an election. But this one, because it's included in a presidential, there's no cost to the district?
That is correct.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yep.
What
Good
have we
timing.
missed?
I think that is it. I was looking at my notes here just to make sure we covered everything, but it looks like that's what we wanted to share. And again, that if anyone has questions, we would love to.
Got a new football coach at St. Clair.
Yes, we do
That's
have a new
exciting.
football coach at St. Clair. Oh, and I did want to share also in other district news that we are currently hiring a security specialist that will work. We have a safety and security director, Mr. David Kennedy, that's been with the district.
Great guy.
Yep, done wonderful things. And so we're in the process of hiring a security specialist that will be working with our security director, Mr. David Kennedy, to continue to offer that safety and security piece in additional schools. So we're excited.
Wonderful.
We're excited about that. We continue to have the SRO at our Marine City campus, our safety resource officer that works for Marine City Police Department. So he's there again this year. We have social workers in every building, at least one now, and that was an exciting piece that we were able to add. And we also now have interventionists. We have math and ELA interventionists that work with all of our students at our elementary buildings and our middle school buildings.
Those
So
are additions that we didn't have a few years ago.
that's correct. Yep.
Was that part of the bond issue, or is it
No.
just funding from the state?
That's part of the funding that Angie was talking about that is being offered in what they call categoricals. So the category of especially helping students past COVID get back to grade level or support them. There's been some money that in grant awards that we've been able to use to make those additions to our staff.
So we're trying to help somebody instead of sending them back to the fund for another year in the same grade, trying to intervene
Yeah.
and support them to move forward.
Yes.
I
Yep.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Great additions, wonderful
Good.
additions. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? New parking lots, new lights.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new place.
It is. It is. We've had new tennis courts at Marine City that were opened up, new parking lots at Marine City, new parking lots at Bell, and lights.
And that's all part of that bond issue.
It's all
from-
part of the bond. Yep. We're finally starting to see the results of
Takes
that.
a while.
It took a while. Yeah.
And then the little thing called COVID.
Oh, that was interesting. Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. Don't want to do that one again.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Same to you.
Thanks to both of you for
Thanks
all
for
you
having
do
us.
for the community and for the students. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
We'll be back with a couple more guests coming along. Mike Demogowski from Palms Elementary will be here to talk about the 5K run coming up at Chili Heart in just a second. Well, we just had a nice interview with the superintendent of schools. Now, one of the people that makes it work, the principal of Palms Elementary, Mr. Mike Demagowski.
That's correct. Thank you, Paul. I'm glad
Nice
to be
to
here.
see you.
Good to see you again.
And you're involved with a little group that I was involved in for a great number of years, which was called the East China Education Foundation.
That is correct.
What's that all about?
Well, it's a great foundation that, long story short, we support.
Oh, we'll take a long story.
Yes, we support. Well, we're an endowment fund out of St. Clair County Foundation, and we basically raise money throughout the course of the school year. We have a couple different events. One coming up, which I'm sure we'll talk about. And through the fundraising, we allow teachers, staff to apply for grants, and then we provide those monies for supplemental things, which we'll talk about too. And we just want to do good for the kids and the staff of the East China School District. So.
And it's been around for 15, 20 years?
Well, I'd say about 20 years. I
Yeah.
think you were one of the
One of the founders.
founders of the board,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So handing it over to someone like me.
That's right. The younger kids.
Well, I appreciate all of your experience and leadership. So.
What you're going to be talking about is a thing called Chili Heart 5K Run / 2-mile walk.
Correct.
When is it? Where is it?
So we're really excited about putting this on again. I believe this is the 14th annual
Wow.
Chili Heart 5K Run 2-mile walk. We're having it out of St. Clair Middle School. It's going to happen on Saturday, February 10th.
Wait a minute. There's snow. There's ice.
It's
You
chill.
don't
It's going to be
do a
chilly
run-
outside.
You don't do a run in February.
The city does a wonderful job of clearing, salting. I've ran it myself multiple times. They do a really, really nice job. So although it might be a little chilly,
Right?
the city does a great job. So it happens Saturday, February 10th. We have a 9 a.m. start. We have runners, walkers. What's cool about this event is for everyone that registers, they can register as an in-person, like a normal 5K or 2-mile walk, but they can also register just virtually.
Virtually?
Absolutely. If they want to support the schools or the school district, or really the foundation, they can do it on their own. I know a lot of people
stay
have
in bed and
Yeah, they can do it. Well, they can do it on their treadmill, and I know some people walk indoors. Whatever they like to do, they'd like to if they'd like to do it on their own time. So we also offer virtual. So I'd say we had, I don't know, maybe 40 registrants last year virtual that just didn't come to the event, but just felt it in their heart, saying, "Hey, this is the right thing. We want to support. We're going to register and do it virtually." So that's
Cool.
also an opportunity.
Cool. Brought along some pictures of previous years. If Troy will throw those up, there we go. This looks like the finish. Happy people got some
Absolutely.
medals.
Yes, everybody that registers gets a medal, and we have age group winners. They get medals and awards, so everyone has a great time at the event. There's some runners.
That looks like the start.
That's the start right there. Yep. Finish when they come back through.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, there we go.
Just some people having
Families, all ages.
Yeah, we had a great amount of kids, and kids are at a discounted price. So it's not really expensive. The event is not expensive at all, and kids are almost half the price. And the kids, as you can see, have a great time. They are scooping homemade chili, and everyone that registers and comes to the event, if you register, you get homemade chili after the event, and you get to take some home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we actually have to-go cups. Like it's a full event if you register.
Yeah. Okay.
There's,
and there you are.
Oh, there's me with two of my kiddos from Palms there.
Yeah.
So we just had a great old time in their Chili Heart 5K T-shirts.
Okay.
I actually ran with them.
As to finish the start, those people are starting.
Yeah,
ladies.
just some more starters. And then there's the flyer.
There's the flyer.
So that flyer, Paul, has all the information on it.
Okay, so I register where? I go online?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to register. The two easiest ways is just open up your computer and open up Google and just search Chili Heart 5K. We're the only one that happens, so it comes right up. It's the first link. Or if you search it in Facebook, it comes up as well.
Okay, very good.
And you click a link, and the registration's really, really easy. There's even a QR code there on the left side of that flyer, as people can see, and they can snap the QR code, and it opens up right to the registration link. So we did that this year.
Saturday, February the 10th, all the monies go to the school district and to kids. What kinds of things happens with the money?
Yeah, so we've awarded grants for a variety of different things, and we meet as a committee to award most grants that are applied for. So this past year, I believe we approved a fun inflatable apparatus for elementary schools for their PE classes. It's really, really neat. Some fitness bench for the St. Clair High School weight room. We've done some funds to support community learning for parents and students for early childhood. We've done flexible seating, just supplemental things, because me as a principal, I know that we have a budget, and the superintendent, the school district does a great job providing us with the monies we need, but we always want extras, right? Those supplemental things that really enhance.
In my classroom.
Yeah, in a particular classroom or a school or whatever. And, like I said, staff and teachers apply for grants, and we go through those, and we award, not all of them, but, most of them that make sense. And it's supplemental things.
Great.
So,
Michael, happy holidays.
happy holidays to you, Paul.
5K, don't miss it. It's going to be fun. And a 2-mile walk.
2-mile
and
walk.
It's virtual.
Absolutely, in person or virtual, 25 for adults, 15 for kids, and there's flyers all around. Just search Chili Heart 5K, and you are supporting not only the foundation, but the schools and the kids that live in our community, and that's what we all want to do.
We'll be up next with Sergeant Don Ennis, and he's got a friend he's bringing along from the Volunteer Citizen Group in St. Clair. We'll be right back. Well, thank you for coming back after a short little break there. Joining us now is the new sergeant. New year. It hasn't been a year, has it?
No.
Don Ennis, welcome back to
Good
the
to be
show,
back,
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And Mr. Kuchenmeyer.
Chris Kuchmeister, yes.
Chris Kuchenmeyer. I got it. Yeah, I got your title right. We can go home now. No. Gentlemen, welcome. You guys are here to talk about a new thing, which you started, Don, which is a citizen volunteer group in St. Clair. What's that all about?
So, I don't know, how should we start it? City of St. Clair, just kind of through attrition, through many years of me being here, we haven't replaced many officers.
Yes.
FPI said you should be at about like 2.4 officers per 1,000. We're kind of down to 1.4 officers per 1,000. So just through attrition, we haven't been able to replace many of these officers. So one of these programs or problems that we had was when we had special events like the Christmas parade.
Yeah.
We have officers spread around town just to kind of do traffic enforcement, and we don't really have officers that can kind of go downtown. And Chris kind of had a great idea that he wanted to kind of implement a citizen volunteer program to kind of help with that crowd control, because you're downtown for all those special events, and you kind of see how that crowd kind of really suffocates the parade. People.
Yeah, it suffocates a good word.
Yeah.
I mean, it just keeps moving closer and closer and closer to the middle of the road, and there could be a tragedy.
Yeah. So kind of like, we spoke to the band director and different flows, and as that kind of crowd kind of encroaching on because one person steps out, then the next person steps out. So Chris kind of had a great idea. It's like, I kind of want to step up, and I kind of want to get a program going so we can have some volunteers downtown to kind of help with that crowd control, because the officers, we have a limited amount, have to be kind of spread out around town to do traffic control. So we don't have that downtown presence. So with Chris being able to come up with this public safe, this PSV program, we're allowed to kind of bring the citizens into our doors and kind of give them an opportunity to serve their community in a different way.
Over the years, the city of St. Clair's had different programs. They've had cadets, they had special police, but all that stuff is changed or gone over the years. So this was a brand new need.
Yeah, for the longest time they had a special police program, and that was kind of, at the start of my time here, that program kind of ended with the states and their liability. They kind of had to eliminate that program. We also had paid cadets, but we don't have the paid cadets anymore. We don't have those special police department anymore. So this is a kind of a brand new program where we're going to welcome citizens kind of in our doors, and we want to work hand in hand with them to kind of show them what we do and how they can be beneficial to their community.
So what did they do? They get a lasso and pull you in?
No, so we're just basically here to support the police and support the city. So any kind of these special events, we're just around to make sure that everybody's being safe and taken care of, and just being an extension of the police department to help out.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you had fun at the Christmas parade?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we loved it. It was great. It was good just for our first event to get that kind of over and see how everything flowed and everything. And the feedback we got was fantastic from the job that we did.
Well, as the guy that's doing the play-by-play of the parade, normally what happens for our camera guy, and Troy is directing today, is that the crowd moves out on the field, on the road, and it sort of blocks our view of what the unit is that's coming by. So it really helped us with keep the people back, so that the people at home could see see what was going on.
Yeah, we had several volunteers going along with the parade, kind of coming back, making sure, and then we had 2 of us in front of the marching band to make sure that we really had things cleared for them because it's such a wide group going through.
Oh, so you got music all the way.
It was great. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of the marching band. So.
And Chris, you know, that crew did a phenomenal job, you know.
Yeah.
We've heard nothing but positive feedback, and Chris is a great note taker, and he already has a checklist for next year. This is where we got to position people. We got to do better at this curve. We got to do better at Riverside and J as the floats go around that corner. We got to get better at getting people back.
Yeah.
So it's safer for the public, you know, and the people in the parade.
Great.
You know.
All right, so have you got another group starting, or what? What's going to happen?
So you can throw up that slide about our contact information.
Go ahead. There you go. Right there.
Yep. So there's some of our contact information. If you're interested, you know, you can go to our Facebook page, or you can go to or you can email that address, or you can contact me at my email address, or just stop by the office. You know, so this is kind of a beginning program. We really don't have all the kinks worked out yet. We kind of did a test through this past Christmas parade, and it was so successful that we're hoping with the Icy Bazaar coming up here in January, we're hoping to implement, you know, the volunteer program with that.
Okay.
You know, with the fireworks and other special events happening, and we're going to include them in the 4th of July fireworks and the boat races and different parades and a Little League parade.
It's basically just simple crowd control.
Yeah. We want people for an hour or two, come out, we'll kind of give you some training, and you know, we're also going to give you the training too. We're not just going to give you a vest and a flashlight and say go out there and we're going to give you some training and some, you know, we're going to give you CPR training, but those things will come over time. So with this program just starting, you know, we're kind of in the beginning stages of it. And I also applied for a grant for the Community Foundation.
Oh, good.
You know, so we can get uniforms or codes or hats, just so these people can be identified.
Right.
We can get them walkie-talkies so they can communicate with the police department and back. So, you know, this isn't just a thing where, you know, just, you know, it's basically building with what we're doing. We're just building off of it.
Right.
Because we really don't know what we're doing in a sense, but we're trying to figure it out so it's best for the community members and best for the police department.
One step at a time.
Yeah, basically one step at a time. We're just trying to get it rolling, get our feet off the ground, get our feet wet, and figure out what to do. So hopefully we can get some money through the Community Foundation. We can kind of get them the equipment they need.
If Troy will throw up the next slide, it's a picture of the group at the Christmas parade. It's a healthy-looking group there.
Yes, that's our Rockstar group here. That's our first members who participated in that. You know,
got 2, 4, 6, about 8 people, 9 people there.
Yep, and we got them vests that say the volunteer program. And we got them little traffic cone flashlights to kind of.
Those worked effectively.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in the future, we're going to hopefully give them more better equipment and just be better identified as who they are and what their roles are for these events.
And what's the next slide? There you go.
Yeah, so kind of the volunteer program kind of came out of this Citizens Police Academy. So last January, I think, or February, we hosted our first annual Citizens Academy. We opened this up to the public where they can apply, and it could be anywhere in St. Clair County. We did not care if you were a city resident, a township, or you lived up in Fort Gratiot.
Okay.
We wanted people to come in our doors and kind of see what we do. We wanted that open line of communication. You know, we're not hiding behind any walls. We want to show people what we do and how we operate as a police department. So back last January, February, we had our Citizens Academy. That was an 8 to 10 week Citizens Academy, and Chris was a participant of that. And you know, I don't want to get any of your thoughts on that academy and how you thought it operated and what you learned or what you didn't learn, how you want to be better.
Yeah, so I mean, I was very impressed with the academy training. So back previous when I was a young adult, I didn't have the greatest experience with law enforcement. So doing something like this, you know, meeting some of the officers, it was good to get to see the behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
You know, some of the split second decision making that they have to make, things that, you know, regular citizens just don't understand. And in going through the program opened my eyes to a lot, which is what really encouraged me and pushed me to want to start the PSV program too, because, you know, there's a need to help.
Right.
With this academy program, you know, it was great because we're a small department.
Right.
So for a small department to host a Citizens Academy like this is pretty phenomenal because we don't have a large budget. We don't have a large staffing. So we're pretty much all hands on deck with this program. And we asked our officers, hey, I need all officers to find the topic that they want to instruct on. And each officer came with their own topic, made their own PowerPoint presentation, presented their. So it's great to see the leadership of the younger men and women of our department step up to a leadership role. And we also bring in other departments too, you know, like we're small, we don't have a K-9.
Right.
We brought in Port Huron's K-9. We don't have a SWAT team, so we brought in Port Huron's SWAT team. And we bring in different agencies, bring in the prosecutor's office, kind of talk about criminal law and what they do. And this year's it's going to be better than ever because we're going to try to bring in the FBI,
Oh, brutal.
Homeland Security investigations. We're going to bring in like Post Office Inspection Service. We're going to bring in a lot of other wide range departments that kind of our department needs to depend on because we have a limited staffing. We can't do surveillance in different states or do arrests in different states or have a helicopter or have a K-9. So we kind of rely on all these different departments. And it kind of shows how we work as a team with these departments.
Yeah.
What's the current population of the department?
So right
Round
now
figure.
we have 8 officers,
Okay.
8 full-time officers.
Okay. All
So,
right.
you know, we want to kind of get those numbers up to where kind of where we were, you know, 10 years ago. We want to get up to about 10 or 12. But this time we know we're doing what we can.
Okay.
And bringing these citizens in our door, they're going to help phenomenally with these different events.
And when is the registration deadline?
So we don't have a deadline yet for the registration of the Citizens Academy, but on that slide, it does start on February 6th and it runs through April 18th. We take spring break off. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. in our city hall downstairs here in the city council chambers.
Okay.
You know, we're going to put people through different, you know, we go through with these, they're called semmunitions. It's like paintball guns.
Oh.
So we put them through these, you know, shoot, don't shoot, you know,
Yeah.
because we see these law enforcement interactions on body cams and,
Yeah.
and videos of people's cell phone. And they say, well, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do this? Well, we're going to put those people in those scenarios.
Yeah.
And you're going to see, you know, under a high stress situation, are you going to shoot? Are you not going to shoot? And then they get a completely different view of
Oh, yeah.
what we have to do in split-second decisions.
Good idea.
You know, it's
good
easy
idea.
for a court, and it's easy to watch that video on Facebook hundreds of times and
Yeah.
be critical on it. But we're going to put people in those situations. So we
Hollywood makes it a lot different.
Oh yeah. So we run through semmunitions, which is a paintball gun. We go to the high school, we go
Mm-hmm.
through classrooms, and we show them how to check classrooms and what do you do in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
And we also bring up the St. Clair SC4 up in Port Huron, and we run them through a computer system. And I don't know if Chris kind of wants to talk about that, but it's the same thing where they get kind of, it's like a laser tag, but on a screen.
Yeah, it's a giant screen, and you're put in a scenario where you have the instructor can control the screen, control the scenario. So you tell them, you give them commands on what to do, like show me your hands. And someone behind you is controlling it, showing you if they want to do that or not, and then you have to make those decisions right then. And it's wild, I'll tell you. It was some of the coolest thing I've done. It's really, really
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see people's reactions through
Yeah.
this, because a lot of people have a tough time. They're like, you know, if they had a shoot, don't shoot, they're like, oh, I can't do nothing, and they kind of freeze.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you kind of put these people through these mental,
And you guys got to
and it's not
be there
real
every day.
And you're in a safe
Yeah.
environment. No one's going to get hurt for the most part. It's all fine, but still in these safe environments.
For the most part.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you have a paintball gun, stuff
Yeah.
can go wrong, but we have equipment, head masks,
Yeah.
chest masks, groin masks, gloves on, so it's all as safe as can be. But we want to run people through these things so that mentally, when they see those videos of law enforcement, they're not just going to they're not going to do a quick judgment.
Yeah.
Is there a cost to register?
Absolutely, it's free. So the biggest thing is you got to either apply at our office or you got to go to our City of St. Clair website. And the police tab, you'll be able to see the Citizens Academy and just fill out that form, email or drop it off at our office. And we're hoping to get 20 or 30 people.
Oh, wow.
Last year we only had 12 because that's the only people that applied. So we're hoping to up our numbers this year and really get people involved in what we do. And we're hoping people will also participate in that and then maybe go into the volunteer program to help us out in the real world on the streets.
Did I see you refereeing basketball too on TV the other day?
No, that was Officer Wood.
Oh, Wood's doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, Wood's doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's we can bring him on. We can talk about that.
You talking about that?
Some of those bad calls he made, you know.
Yeah, no, we don't want to tell him.
We'll question him. We'll do the replays.
Have we covered everything?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're good to go. You know, it's
Well, congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you and your involvement
Thank you.
in working with this guy. He's a good man.
Absolutely.
Sergeant now.
Yes.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. Happy holidays.